Hi, this is Ron Jeremy. You're listening to Porno Sonic.
Hey, it's Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, and I want to thank you for tuning in. This week is a special van challenge video with Deep Junk Garage, Hodge's Hot Wheels, DieCast Resurrection, and 2A HD Cat. I'm using an old school van this week, and I really like the styling of the old Dodge van, so I haven't done one. I figured I would do one. As usual, if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell to get notified anytime I post a video. Alright, so yeah, I have an old school Hot Wheels van. Like I said, I really dig the stylings, and I've done a lot of the super vans, and I just figured it was time for a change, and I'd do something a little bit different. And the old school van itself has a metal base, which I really liked, and kind of like the moonroof, even though I completely paint it. I just like the stylings of it. So I start by taking it apart. It's fairly basic. The interior is very detailed and very big. It's got some nitrous bottles in the back and some speakers and 2 rows of seats. The moonroof is painted from the inside, where a lot of these are clear or a smoked glass of some sort. This one's actually painted, which is fine with me because I'm painting it myself. So after the stripper, I will take my wire wheel. I will make sure I've cleaned any imperfections or paint left over. Then I hit it with some 4/0 steel wool just to give it a little bit of a shine, a little bit of a polish, and it gives something for the primer to adhere to, which works out pretty good, especially with the Stynorez primer. I'm really happy with that stuff. So before I go too far, I had forgotten to drill out the one hole, and because the front grill assembly actually clips in the front, so that's the second point of contact. I'm using my snap-on ratchet with my tap holder. The tap is a 256 tap. I cut the tip off so it's square, makes it easy to work with. I don't have to worry about the depth. And then once I do that, I'll put the screw in. I'm doing a lot of work on this windshield, so I want to make sure that I don't get anything, on the windshield, on the actual roof itself, which is attached to the windshield. So I want to make sure I mask that off, and it pretty much stays masked almost till the end of the project. And even though it's painted on the inside, I'm going to be painting on the outside of this, so I want to scuff it up and make sure I get some good adhesion. And it had a few scratches on it anyways. This was a used van I got off of eBay. And then it's off to the spray booth. So first step, of course, is to apply the Stynorez gray primer. And I haven't tried the other colors, but I'm really happy with the gray. So I'm going to put some decent coverage on the front lower valance. It's almost like a spoiler. And that's the only thing on the actual chassis that's getting painted. So I masked off everything. That's what you saw first. And then I'm going to hit the roof, and then I'll hit the van. I'm really digging this challenge, and what I like about these kind of challenges is it's not so much a who wins, who loses, who did a better job. It's all about challenging yourself. If you know you're going up against other great YouTubers and video producers and everything all around, from builders to, it just makes you a better. I think it pushes you to go outside your comfort zone and do something a little bit special. And when you do that, you learn sometimes the wrong way to do things, sometimes the right way, but it makes you a better person. So I'm going to add some gloss black. This stuff is straight out of the bottle, no reducer, no nothing. I put a light coat on the roof and the front spoiler, and then I'll also put a light coat on the body. And I found with this gloss black, I've had a hard time with it from Createx, and it's not them, it's me. The first coat has to be very light, and once that sets up, your subsequent coats can be a lot heavier, and it has something to stick to. It's like it sticks to itself. And as you see when I'm painting here, what it looks like when it's wet is almost identical to what it looks like when it dries. So this stuff, to me, really works well. It saves a step. You don't have to paint regular black and then clear coat it before, because again, I'm doing a big surprise. I'm doing candy colors, and you have to have a chrome base, and to get the chrome base, you have to have a black base underneath that. So this is like a 8-step process for paint. So if you could avoid one step with a clear coat, then I try to do that whenever I can, and the gloss black really helps that process. And if you notice, well, there's my Quicksilver Chrome. If you notice, I put a spoiler on the back of the van, on the roof. That's from a 70 Challenger Hot Wheels car that I'd gotten in the mail from somebody in a big box of stuff. It was the right length, so it worked out perfect. So I actually stripped it and then redid it. So that's why you already see the chrome. I lost a video somewhere, a clip. So anyways, I'm putting a second coat of the Quicksilver Chrome on. And you don't have to put this stuff on heavy. As a matter of fact, the lighter the better. And as many coats, I think it's, excuse me, 3 coats max is really all you need for this. The more you go, the more aluminum it'll get. So you want to find that right balance. So now it's off to the interior while that dries. I got my Milliput, and I am making something that every van from the 70s needs. And again, I know I'm doing a lot of work, as you'll see, on the interior, and you'll never see the interior, but for me it's all about the details. And I always told myself, if I was going to do a 70s van, I'm making this thing like a love machine. And so no machine is complete without glitter. And that is a disco ball, and the glitter was made from real strippers, so we're all good there. The Milliput, while it was still wet or tacky, I just rolled it in the glitter, and I had it all over myself. It looked like I did strangle a stripper. It was horrible, but it works really well. And then I use a toothpick to just put a little hole in it afterwards that I can put a chain in once it all sets up and dries, so I can hang my disco ball in my van. And no van is also complete without a bed, so I'm making a single bed, because you don't need a double wide or anything. And I'm just making almost like a comforter, and just so it has some sort of a texture to it. And I made a base for it right here. I'm going to put that on, and that's going to be my bed. Now the base itself, as awesome as it looks and as detailed as it is, I just didn't like it. So again, this is all stuff that you're never going to see, except probably on this video. So it's a lot of work for something that gets hidden when it's all assembled. But I'm going to cut it in half right behind the rear seats, and I'm going to take this base and I'm going to extend it out, and that's where my bed's going to be. And also a little bit of a floor, you'll see. This was a little challenging. The way that the original base was, it's kind of notched out for the post that comes, the one post that comes down in the back. So that's what you see me doing now, is making sure that I have the right notch cut out so it'll go together fine. Now I'm putting my bed in, because again, you need a bed. It is a love machine. And then I'm just making some spacers to fit in the chassis itself so that it doesn't sag when it's together. And this was really a lot of trial and error. I'm making like a back panel so to separate the front from the back. I got some chrome that I'm putting on there to make it shiny, almost to pretend it's a mirror. And now it's the detail stuff. I'm using my Citadel paints. I'm going to paint the red paint on just about everything. The dash, the door panels, the back of the bed, the any kind of little details that look like it would kind of pop with red. And it was kind of a two-tone red and black, and then some hot pink for the bedspread. And I don't even know where I got this stuff. My wife had it, and it's just little strips of fuzzy shit. I really don't know what it is, but I'm hacking it all up into little itty bitty pieces. And I took some of that matte clear and I sprayed the interior, and I'm making a shag carpet in the back, and slowly and tediously, losing my patience, but it came out really good. I just kept adding the pink on there, and I painted it red underneath just to have a little bit of a base to it. And no van is complete without a fuzzy dashboard, so that's what that is. Again, you guys, you can see that, but you can't see the rest of it, unfortunately, when it's all together. So now it's paint time, and I wanted to go with something a little bit. I've done a lot of fades, and this one's no different, except I think I finally nailed it. I wanted to go with a sunset fade, which was a yellow into a darker red on the bottom. And it kind of fit what I had in mind, at least, for a mural. So with the candy colors, this is a tequila yellow. And I found if I paint from the top or on like 45-degree angles, it works much, much better. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier on my previous projects, but and I wanted a deep yellow because I didn't want it to be a harsh transition between the upper and the lower parts of the van. So I got two tack semi-light coats and then one decently heavy coat. You can see I did the roof as well. So then I took the Grabber Orange candy, which is also, everything's from Createx, by the way. And this worked out really, really well. Again, 45-degree angle, but I did it from the bottom up. And that gave me almost a perfect fade. And I did a little heavier on the bottom. And then I slowly worked my way up a little bit further away and a little bit more of an angle. And as I did that, it gave me a really, really nice fade. And there was no harsh transitions, which is what I've kind of gotten in the past. And I wasn't 100% satisfied with. So like anything, practice makes perfect. This came out really, ideal. I couldn't have asked for a better paint job on this project. The sunset fade is exactly what I wanted. It faded exactly where I wanted it. I really, really was happy. And to top it off, I put a little hot rod sparkle. I didn't go crazy on this stuff. You can't even tell I did it by the time you get done with everything. So, but it came out really, really cool. Super, super happy with it. And what I did is I took the Grabber Orange. I built two vans. So if you stick around to the end, I do show you a second van. The second van is the Grabber Orange, and then I mixed some blood red in both candies and painted it. So it's another Dodge van. It came out really, really cool. But that's at the end anyways. So I printed out a bunch. I'd actually ordered a set on eBay. It took like 2 months to frickin' get it. I just got it after I'd finished the project. So I kind of printed my own. My printer sucks, but they came out pretty good. I just designed a bunch of different ones, and I was kind of playing around. I knew which one I was going to use, but I wanted to see if the Conan the Barbarian ones there, the same color scheme, would look better, but it didn't. So I made like a little template for what I wanted for a size to go with the mural. And then I put that over what I had printed out on the decal sheet. They're just testers, white decals, nothing fancy. And then I used that as my template, and I cut it out for both sides and applied that. And the colors were perfect. They were spot on. This stagecoach is very sunset oriented, and I knew that's what I wanted to go, so that's why I painted it the way I did. So I was real happy with the way this came out as far as this theme went. I had seen a van a long, long time ago when I was a kid, and then when I was doing some research, I saw it again, and it was this actually almost identical mural on the side. And I just thought it looked so subtle but cool at the same time, and it was very reminiscent of the 70s. So once that's done, I'm just going to do a few details, painting in some of the black. I'm using these Micron pens that I found that I've had forever that I forgot I had. They work really, really well. And my Citadel paints, just painting some marker lights and miscellaneous stuff like that. Nothing fancy. All my detail was on the interior, which is stuff, again, you can't see. But this was a really fun project, and I'm glad I hopped in on it. And I've already seen a couple. I'm actually recording this on Saturday morning, so I've already seen a couple of the videos. So everybody's doing killer jobs already. I get this new clear that I tried. It works awesome. I love it. And it's long term. It's like 10 times cheaper than buying the Redline Shop stuff. So I'm putting my disco ball in the interior, and here's my finished interior. I detailed the seats, the seat belts, got my fuzzy dash. This thing came out really, really good. I'm super happy with the way this thing turned out. Excuse me. Once it's assembled, I'm getting ready for the final reveal here. As usual, this is what I started with, and this is what I ended up with. Really, really digging it. You can see the seat belts. You can see the fuzzy dash. You can see my spoiler. The fade on the paint is ideal. I'm really stoked on how this thing came out. It's a true, in my opinion, a true 70s van. Something I'd be proud to drive. And also, I have my second van. This thing, I swore I would do a 70s trooper van or an 80s trooper van. There was one around town almost identical to this, and growing up, I'm an Iron Maiden fan anyways, so I wanted to do this one as the second one. I'll probably give this one away even though I really love it. But anyways, that's it. If you guys like what you see, make sure you check out all the other videos. The links will be in the description below, and thanks for tuning in.